Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Annetta Felix. President Muhammadu Buhari has suspended Walter Onogen and sworn in Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed as the new Chief Justice of Nigeria. Mohammed was sworn in by Buhari on Friday afternoon inside the Council Chamber of State House Presidential Villa, Abuja. Onogen had earlier today announced a plan to swear in members of the various 2019 election petition tribunals on Saturday, January 26th, in a statement by his media assistant, Awasam Bassi, on Friday. Onogen also debunked rumors that he resigned due to the case of false assets declaration against him by the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Onogen's case was suspended till January 30th for the Court of Appeal to give its verdict on the matter. But Buhari says he has now been suspended based on a directive from the CCT.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Walter Nkanu Samuel Onogen, from office pending final determination of the cases against him at the Code of Conduct Tribunal and several other fora relating to his alleged breach of the Code of Conduct for Public Officers. The nation has been gripped by the tragic realities of no less a personality than the Chief Justice of Nigeria himself becoming the accused person in a corruption trial, since details of the petition against him by a civil society organization first became public about a fortnight ago. Although the allegations in the petitions are grievous enough in themselves, the security agencies have since then traced other suspicious transactions running into millions of dollars to the CJN's personal accounts, all undeclared or improperly declared as required by law. Perhaps more worrisome is the Chief Justice of Nigeria's own written admission to the charges that he indeed failed to follow the spirit and letter of the law in declaring his assets, citing, in quote, mistakes and, in quote again, forgetfulness, which are totally unknown to our laws as defenses in the circumstances of his case. One expected that with his moral authority so wounded by these serious charges of corruption, more so by his own written admission, Justice Walter Onogen would have acted swiftly to spare our judicial arm further disrepute by removing himself from superintending over it while his trial lasted.
Earlier, I spoke to lawyer and political activist Liberus Sharma on this development. So, Liberus Sharma, thank you for joining us on News Now. Let's dive now into the crux of the matter. Of course, Buhari has just suspended the CJN, Walter Onogen, and has installed a new acting CJN. But the question on everyone's mind right now is, does the president truly have the power to take such action?
He doesn't. He doesn't have such power. And that's why the president's action is not anchored on any provisions of the Constitution. If you look at section 153, subsection 1, you look at paragraph 20 and paragraph 21 of the third schedule, part 1 of the third schedule of the Constitution, you look at section 292, none of them gives the president the power. The one gives the NJC power to recommend, section 292 gives the National Assembly power also to recommend. So that's why the president's decision is hinged on, a decision from the Code of Conduct. And that decision from the Code of Conduct, nobody seems to be aware of it.
Exactly. So Buhari is actually saying that he took that decision based on a directive from the Code of Conduct Tribunal. And another thing is, I recall earlier today, the CJN actually said that he was going to inaugurate a panel for the Election Petition Tribunal on Saturday. And then this is coming on a Friday, with the suspension of the CJN. Do you think then that because he was going to inaugurate this panel, that maybe this is politicized?
Yeah, for people that have been saying this is beyond politics, it is very clear now that this is all about politics. And so the CJN had said he was going to inaugurate the panel, the election petition, members of the election petition tribunal that will look into the election petition that will come as fallout of the general election. And then, because the unspoken word had been that the government does not actually want, the CJN to inaugurate or to nominate or appoint members of the tribunal. They are not too comfortable.
This all goes all the way back to the issue of corruption we've been talking about, vote buying, election rigging, malpractice. There's no way you can avoid these issues.
And so if you are promising to give, a transparent and free election, then allow the processes to run through. And so if people are saying you want to manipulate election and you want people who you are comfortable with to head the tribunal, it means there's truly, those people that are saying that you have some sinister move, and then these subsequent actions are pointing to the fact that they did a sinister move. And you don't use corruption to fight corruption. It's not possible.
And that was Libros Oshoma explaining the legal standpoint of the Onuen's case. Now, meanwhile, presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has described Buhari's suspension of Onuen as dictatorial and anti-democratic. Atiku is calling on Onuen and the judiciary to resist the suspension with every legal and constitutional means that they can muster. He further questioned Buhari's action of removing Onuen just as he was preparing to swear in members of the election petition tribunals. Atiku says Buhari's action Atiku's action is an attempt to undermine the judiciary ahead of the February 16 presidential polls and urged the international community to intervene. Now, Justice Muhammad Idris of the Federal High Court Lagos has handed a 7-year jail sentence to Christian Nwosu and Tijani Bashir, former INEC administrative secretaries in Kwara State. Both men were found guilty of offences bordering on money laundering to the tune of 264.880 million naira. Also was found guilty of benefiting from a sum of $115.1 million, which a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Diziani Alison Madueke, doled out to compromise the 2015 elections. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says Nwosu collected 30 million naira from the Diziani funds. A federal high court in Abuja has upheld INEC's decision not to accept the list of candidates of the All Progressives Congress in Zamfara State. INEC based its stance on the inability of the ruling party to conduct primary elections before the stipulated deadline. Crisis had stalled the primary as supporters of Abdulaziz Yari, governor of the state, and Senator Kabir Marafa clashed over the exercise on different occasions. INEC had refused to accept the appeal of the leadership of the party, which argued that candidates could be adopted through consensus. Now, amid the controversy surrounding her withdrawal from the presidential race, the embattled candidate of the Allied Congress Party of Nigeria, Obiageli Ezekwesili, has faulted the claims by the party, describing it as lies. Ezekwesili was reacting in a statement titled, "No amount of lies can stop the emergence of a new political mindset and order," issued from Cabo in Mexico, where she's attending the Albert Einstein's Genius 100 Visionaries meeting. The former Minister of Education says she decided to immediately sacrifice her candidacy to uphold her values by withdrawing. She says the divergence of values and vision in the party was a key factor that triggered her withdrawal from the presidential race. She, however, promised to hold a world press conference to address the issue as soon as she's back to Nigeria. Meanwhile, the spokesman of the All Progressives Congress in Lagos State has dismissed the threat of a coalition proposed by Ezekwesili. Joe Ibokwe says the APC and the People's Democratic Party remains Nigeria's two largest parties and that there are no chances of either parties being defeated by a coalition.
It's a free world. It's a marketplace of ideas, so you know when to move and when to stop. And I guess Obi would have seen the realities on the ground that she's going nowhere, just like some of these other parties that can't even remember their names. You know, there's no way you can just form a new party and, bring out a presidential candidate. Why don't you start at one level, local government level, then state level, and then graduate? So when you look at these things, I have been in the system for so many years, and I knew what it took us to get APC where it is today. And people just form a political party. Yesterday, I want to produce a presidential candidate. And then you don't have structures. You don't have anything on ground. You are just floating. I've seen some of them, they can't even organize a town hall meeting where people will come. You can't see people there. So that's I think Obi saw the reality on the ground and took decision, very quick decision. And I know that others will follow. It's the same me and my wife parties, They don't have anything. There's no difference between Obi's party and Kingsley Moghalu's party or Durotoye's party. It's the same thing. The same new parties, no structures, nothing on ground, no followers. So they can't. Of what meat are they fed? I said these parties are me and my wife parties. They don't have anything on ground. So it's still the same thing. They can't. The only party that we know is just PDP. Others are just others. And, there's nothing you can do about it. So very soon, all of them will face the realities on ground. I've been waiting to see where one of them will organize a rally, even in a field, to talk to people. I have not seen it. They are just floating. They are just in their car, moving along the street, urging people to follow them. This is not the way to go about it. Start small. Don't forget the days of humble beginnings. Start small, and then you graduate.
Meanwhile, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has continued his door-to-door campaign in Lagos. The Vice President has been campaigning around the southwestern state with some party lawmakers and the APC governorship candidate Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Onyi Adekunle has the rest of the story.
The Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, begins this latest tour with a visit to the residence of the first executive governor of Lagos State, Lateef Jakande, in Ilupeju at Mushin local government area of the state. He is accompanied by Lagos APC governorship candidate Babajide Sanwo-Olu and other party chieftains. One of the APC members on the Vice President's tour is Funmi Tejosho, a lawmaker in the State House of Assembly. She says Osinbajo's visit is a sign that the party remains united.
We've been working very hard as APC members of this constituency. We've been mobilizing our people, and we're very happy that the Vice President, Professor Osinbajo, and the governor incoming, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, they're coming here today to see our father, Baba Jakande. So we are very, very excited about it. And we know that this will even let the people see that APC, we love our people, we want to be with our people. The president is with us, the vice president is with us, and all our leaders, they're with us. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is with us, and we are very, very pleased about that.
From there, the Vice President hits the road to continue his door-to-door campaign in Mushin and Surulere local government areas. The Vice President does not address reporters on the visit, but another member of his campaign tour, Senator Ganiu Solomon, expresses confidence that the APC door-to-door campaign policy will help it gather enough votes to win the upcoming elections.
The APC is fully on ground and is fully prepared for this coming elections. You are all witnesses to the visit of the president, Bauchi, Chokoto, Akwa Ibom, and so on and so forth, to Lagos. The candidates have traversed all the nooks and crannies of Lagos State with high acceptability. And the same thing is happening in all the local government, that is the federal and state constituencies, not forgetting the senatorial constituencies. So I think we are fully prepared. We are as prepared as if the election is going to hold tomorrow. That is how prepared we are.
Oshibajo is expected to visit more local government in Lagos State before President Muhammadu Buhari's big visit to the southwestern states on February 11. Onyi Adekunle, TV360, Nigeria.
Still in Lagos, a group, the Good Governance Campaign, GGC, has staged the rally against President Muhammadu Buhari, asking him not to contest the February election. The GGC, a coalition of some civil organizations at the rally in Ojota area of Lagos, say the president is not competent and fit to govern Nigeria for the next 4 years. The group claimed the country has not fared well under the APC-led administration and that the capacity of the president to improve the situation of things is in serious doubt.
We are here this morning not to campaign against any political party or to undermine the interests of any candidate, representative of any party. But we are here as patriotic citizens of this country to express our view on cogent and germane issues that have direct reflection on the development of our country. And we know that for any country to develop, such country must have good leaders, not leaders that are sick, not leaders that are incapacitated, not leaders that cannot do things on his own, not leaders that look like a robot that will be controlled through remote control. And that is what we are saying, that we are not against the president, we are not against his party, we are not against any opposition party, but we are here to express our view that the president should come out, or those that are around him should come out to tell us the state of his health. Let us know if the president is capable to continue to rule this country. For us to know that the president is capable, for us to know that the president can rule this country in the next 4 years when the trust is ensured in him, when people give him our free mandate. We love him, we like him, we are not against him, but what we are saying that we love him the same way we love this country, and being shareholders and stakeholders in the developmental agenda of this country, we cannot avoid to see a leader that is sick, that will not be able or have capacity to run this country the way it's supposed to be, so that the program, the developmental program that has been outlined, we need a leader that have good health, that have sound health, psychologically, that have good health, physically, that have good health, spiritually, and everything that can run the Nigeria in a way it's supposed to be.
Now, another presidential candidate, Kingsley Moghalu, has been stepping up his campaign trail. Moghalu, who is representing the Young Progressives Party, YPP, is considered one of the major outstanders to challenge the APC-PDP stronghold on Nigerian politics. The former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria is now charging supporters of his party to reject the candidates of both major parties.
I believe that any vote for the APC or the PDP in this election is a wasted vote. Why is it a wasted vote? It's a wasted vote because if they were to win, it will be 4 years of the same nothingness. 4 years of emptiness. In the case of the APC, 4 years of recycling poverty, 4 years of incompetence, 4 years of divisiveness and nepotism. In the case of the PDP, 4 years of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. 4 years of the failure of their 16-year record. 4 years of enriching friends and cronies. So neither of these two parties holds the future for Nigeria. I offer myself once again as the path to Nigeria's renaissance, as the path to Nigeria's resurgence, as the path to the emancipation of the Nigerian masses. And in that context, the 2019 election is an emancipation struggle. It's more than just an election. It's a choice between freedom and slavery at the hands of our recycled politicians.
We'll take a break here and we'll be right back.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
Nigeria's telecommunications giant MTN says the Minister of Finance has not approved the taxes requested for by the Kogi State Internal Revenue Service, KGIRS. The telco's base station in Lokoja was shut down on Wednesday, leading to a disruption in services. The State Inland Revenue Service had alleged that the telecom service provider failed to remit outstanding tax liability of 120 million naira to the state government. MTN's corporate relations executive, Tobechukwu Okibo, says the state government is demanding immediate payment of social service contribution levy, employee development levy, and annual rents for right-of-way and fiber optics cable. Okibo said the Taxes and Levy Act, which introduces the social service contribution and economic development levies, mandates the Joint Tax Board to recommend chargeable fees, which will be subject to the Minister of Finance's approval. Let's now take a look at the stock market today. The Nigerian stock market has continued its gain for the fourth straight day, closing today at 1.41% increase in the all-share index, with the market cap adding over 150 million naira from previous trading to close at 11.719 trillion. The consumer goods sector is visibly dominating the pack of losers, with PZ Cousins Nigeria PLC leading the pack, followed by Unilever PLC, both losing 4.67% and 1.22% respectively, while Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC recorded a loss of 0.51%. The MPF Microfinance Bank from the financial services sector also closed at a decline of 7.59%. Now, on the flip side, Total, Dangote Cement, Ecobank Transnational Incorporated, and Guarantee Trust Bank PLC were well ahead of the game as they all made their way to the top gainers chart. And with summary, a total of 417.172 million shares were traded in 3,970 deals to yield 3,144 trillion naira. Now let's turn to the global stock market. We see that the FTSE actually has declined by 0.14%. The Dow Jones is making an increase of 0.95%, and Nikkei has upped by 0.097%. News now returns after this break.
Corruption not in my country.
Cut. All right. What's your name again? Kemi?
Yes, sir.
Good. Are you ready for us for next week?
Yes, sir.
Next.
No, sir. No.
What? Look, what we need here is one who can speak fluent English. Give her a chance.
I need a angel to hold me. Hold me, my beautiful angel.
Cut! It is angel, not angel. Please, I'm done with you. Excuse us. Kemi was far better.
It's not about our rendition. It's not about our performance here. By the time she and her friends join us in our hotel room, you will know how far.
Can I have her phone?
She has a robust profile.
Real robust profile. I do not undercut professional ethics. It is an act of corruption. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
The death toll from protests in Sudan that began last month has risen to 29. 2 more demonstrators died in unrest that raged across Sudanese cities on Thursday in the most sustained challenge. We'll go on a break now and we'll be right back.
On TV360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent. Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country?
I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly.
God forbid that I go to join that ballot.
TV360, providing clarity to issues.
The death toll from protests in Sudan that began last month has risen to 29. 2 more demonstrators died in unrest that raged across Sudanese cities on Thursday in the most sustained challenge yet to the 3-decade rule of Omar al-Bashir. A 24-year-old man died of his wounds during the protests as thousands of demonstrators continued their protest across several cities, calling on longtime ruler Omar al-Bashir to step down. Family members of the latest victim, Maiwa Bashir, says that he was shot in his home as he tried to shelter protesters being chased by government security forces. A shot was fired through the gate, hitting Bashir and knocking him to the ground. Sheha Maiwa Bashir, daughter of Bashir, is demanding justice for her father. A former advisor to U.S. President Donald Trump, Roger Stone, was arrested on Friday under an indictment issued by Special Counsel Robert Mueller. According to the Office of Mueller, who is conducting the Russian investigation, Stone was charged with 7 counts, including obstruction of an official proceeding, making false statements, and witness tampering. It was the first move in months by the special prosecutor probing Russian collusion in the 2016 U.S. election and whether Trump and his people tried to obstruct justice. FBI agents arrested Stone at his home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Now in sports, Nigerian international Victor Moses has completed a loan move to Turkish club Fenerbahce from former Premier League champions Chelsea. Moses, who joined the Blues from Wigan Athletic in 2012, was a key member of the Chelsea team that lifted the Premier League title in 2017 and the FA Cup in 2018. The 28-year-old has been restricted to just 5 appearances this season, with his only start coming in September's EFL Club win at Liverpool. Since joining Chelsea, the former Nigerian international has had loan spells at Liverpool, Stoke and West Ham. Novak Djokovic will play Rafael Nadal for the 53rd time in the Australian Open final on Sunday after crushing Lucas Pouille for the loss of only 4 games. Now, of the world number 1's 24 Grand Slam semi-final victories, only the one over an injured Mary Slick at the US Open in 2015 was more comprehensive than this 6-0, 6-2, 6-2 demolition, which lasted just an hour and 23 minutes. Frenchman Pouille, who had never faced Djokovic before, had made it through to the last 4 of his slam for the first time, but was left helpless in the face of such a brilliant performance. Now, the narrative at the start of the tournament was supposed to be about the next generation making their mark, but Djokovic and Nadal conceded just 10 games in the semi-finals between them. You're now up to date on the latest around the world. Thanks for watching. Do follow us on all social media platforms and watch our YouTube channel to catch up on other interesting programs. It is TV360 Nigeria. Bye for now.